guys, this is Lindsay with Garage Gym Reviews, and today we are going to talk about the Peloton versus the Echelon bike. Now, Peloton has two bikes in its series where Echelon has a couple of different options, and we're going to get into the specifics of that. Now, these are two high-quality bike brands that are going to last you for years and years to come. They both come with their own unique programming. Peloton, I think it's the best, but the Echelon is actually surprising and does a really good job. So we're going to get into the specifics of that, but first, go ahead, subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date on all things fitness. And if any of the products that you see today are something you're interested in purchasing, go ahead, use the link below the like buttons to do so. When you use those links, it does give us a small commission, but it doesn't cost you any of your extra hard-earned pennies. We really appreciate when you do that. Allows us to continue bringing you videos like this one. And then last thing, for transparency's sake, some of these products have been sent to us by the company. It doesn't change my honest opinion. It doesn't change my team's honest opinion about the product, but we want to let you know we'll always tell you the good, the bad, everything in between, so let's get into it. Now, unless you are living under a rock, I'm sure that you have heard of Peloton. I mean, they are kind of the king or the queen of cardio fitness right now. They create high quality bikes, treadmills, and more, as well as having some of the best interactive programming. Now, this programming is fun. It's challenging. The instructors make the class really, really enjoyable for anybody at all levels of fitness. Peloton bikes are also made with quiet magnetic resistance. So if you are somebody who's familiar with outdoor biking, or you're wanting something that's really going to mimic an outdoor road bike experience, I think that the Peloton does a really good job creating that added indoor experience. Now, Peloton did have the Peloton bike, but recently they came out with the Peloton Bike Plus. Now, there are a couple different features that I really appreciate about the Peloton Bike Plus. One of them is a larger, bigger screen. It still has the same clear graphics as the other Peloton bike, but just at a larger screen. Now, the other thing that I really like about the Peloton Bike Plus is its auto resistance. If you're familiar with the Nordic Track S22i, the Peloton Bike Plus also has this feature. So basically what auto resistance is whatever program that you are taking, the instructor has already pre-programmed the resistance into that workout, and you're easily able to follow along. Now, there are a couple of reasons I love this feature. One is you don't have to think about the resistance as you're training. You're just able to follow along with the class. Now, of course, you're always able to override this feature. So if the intensity becomes too hard, you're always able to dial it back. Or if it's too easy, you're always able to increase that. But I do feel like having auto resistance and having everybody at the same speed, even though you're in different areas of the country or different areas of the house, it kind of creates more of a community class. Now, although Echelon wasn't the first Peloton alternative, they have done a really good job of coming out with a series of bikes for different people. So not all of the Echelon bikes are created equal. So some have a display screen, some don't, some have a water bottle holder, some don't. You're really gonna have to go through each bike individually to see what features you want. But I think it makes it a great option for users to really be able to decide what they really want out of a bike and what they can afford. Echelon programming delivers a similar experience to the Peloton programming, although I still think the Peloton is the king of programming, but they also offer cross-training classes as well. So they have HIIT classes, Pilates, yoga, running classes, and many more for you to choose from. Now, like I said earlier, Echelon has several bike options for you to choose from, and fun fact, which I find kind of random, but also kind of exciting, Pitbull is an investor in the Echelon company, and they actually have exclusive streaming rights to his songs. So I feel like if Pitbull doesn't get you energized and like you can't jam out to a Pitbull song in a group cycling class, like you're kind of a lost cause in my opinion. Now, a couple things and a couple areas where I think Peloton really shines. One, I've said it once, I've said it twice, I'll say it again, it's their programming. The instructors are full of energy. It's a fun class while also keeping it incredibly challenging. The other thing I really like about the Peloton is the design of the bike. I mean, it's modern, it's slick, it's not overly cumbersome or clunky. Lots of people choose to keep the Peloton bike in their home or their living room, their bedroom. And so for that reason, you don't want it to feel like a piece of typical gym equipment. And I think the Peloton delivers on that aspect. Last kind of area that I really appreciate about the Peloton, even though I think it's slightly unnecessary, is it has 100 levels of micro adjustable resistance. So you're really able to customize your resistance to whatever level of training you're wanting to get out of it. A couple call outs and things that I don't love about the Peloton. One, it takes the cake for the most uncomfortable exercise seat that I have tried. And I have tried a lot of exercise seats. For whatever reason, even though you slightly get used to the seat, Peloton seat is still incredibly uncomfortable. Second, if you need a repair, it can be a lengthy repair process. And there have been complaints about people having issues with pedals. So if that does happen to you, know that it might not get resolved as quickly as you would like, and it might take a couple months before that issue is fixed. The other thing I don't love is I don't like that you have to have Delta cycling cleats in order to use the bike. Now, with other options, there are dual options, so you can either use cycling clips or a toe caged box. I would much prefer that. With Peloton, you're already spending quite a lot of money on the Peloton bike, and now you're also required to have these specialized shoes. I would rather see that go away. All right, so let's talk about the Echelon real quick. The Echelon does have dual pedals, so if you want to use cycling cleats, you can, or you can have a caged toe box that straps in really easily. I love that feature. The other thing I really appreciate about the Echelon is it has a series of bikes, so it's not one size fits all. You can really kind of customize at different price points what exactly you are looking for. Now, the third thing I really like about the Echelon is it is a more comfortable seat. Is it the best seat? Is it like a recumbent bike seat where you're just like chilling and it's vented and you can go for a stroll? No. But it is a lot more comfortable than the Peloton bike, and I greatly appreciate that fact. Also, another call out to the Echelon is it is a disappointing warranty of only 12 months. I wish that would be improved upon. With Peloton and Echelon, they both offer magnetic resistance, which is a much better option than friction resistance. Now, magnetic resistance tends to be more expensive, but I think that it is worth it. It requires way less maintenance, it's quieter, and it's a smoother ride. Peloton has over 100 levels of micro-adjustable resistance, whereas Echelon has 32 levels of resistance. Do I think those 100 levels are necessary? No, I don't. But it's like if Echelon is the Sunday, nobody's gonna say no to a Sunday. Everybody loves a Sunday, but like then Peloton comes and like dangles this little cherry on top. Like you might be tempted to have that. I don't know. So do I think it's necessary? No, but is it a nice feature? Maybe. With both Peloton bikes, they come with a 38-pound flywheel. Now, the heavier the flywheel, the smoother, the quieter, the better the bike is. With Echelon, you have a range of a 15-pound flywheel all the way up to a 30-pound flywheel. So you'll have to keep that in mind as you're looking through their bike options. Now, do I think that a 38-pound flywheel is necessary for everybody? No, but if you are an avid cyclist and you are doing a lot of cycling weekly, or you are wanting it to really mimic what a road bike experience feels like, you'd probably want a heavier flywheel. If you are a beginner, maybe you're cycling just a couple times a week, I think you can get away with a lighter flywheel. In terms of conveniences, all of the Echelon bikes are a little different. However, they all do come with a dumbbell rack, but if you're wanting a display screen, you'll have to make sure that you choose a bike with a display screen because that isn't available for all the options. Also, some of the Echelon bikes don't come with a water bottle holder. Now, even with the Echelon bikes that don't come with a display screen, you're able to use Bluetooth connectivity to connect the Echelon programming with your iPad or your phone and put it on the display shelf. So it's not just like you don't get that programming, but it is something to be aware of. Now, with the Peloton, both bikes do come with dual water bottle holders and dumbbell racks, and also have a large display screen. Now, if you are wanting to learn more about the Peloton versus the Echelon bikes, go ahead and use the link below the like button. It's gonna take you to our website where we have this amazing chart that's gonna break down the price, the specs, the size, like basically everything you want to know about each of these bikes is in this handy dandy chart for you. Go ahead, use that link to follow along. Let us know what bike you would choose for yourself. I know for me, I would probably choose the Peloton, and that is simply just because of the programming. I think the bikes are very similar. I think they're very comparable, but I do feel like the Peloton kind of outshines because of the programming. But let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. This has been Lindsay with Garage Reviews, and we'll see you back here next time. Peace.